Hey guys, alright, I'm here with another Drives and Dragons small little one that I'm probably gonna put together here real quick. Since the sun's going down here soon and I'm not that far away from where I want to go. So I was just listening to the Mike Merle's Happy Fun Hour, and he was talking about how it was the one about the Urban Ranger vigilante subclass, and he mentioned in there that in 5th edition combat, focus fire is king, and there was a recent machine analyst who analysis that said that in D&D, damage and hit points are really the big things that predict victors in a fight. And so if you remove an opponent, you lower the overall damage output. And so that's why focus fire makes a lot more sense in those kind of situations, versus spreading out your damage to everybody. Yeah, that's great, but if you don't take one out, you still are dealing with the same number of combatants. On the flip side, in Pathfinder 2, I believe, it might be better to spread out your attacks, to debilitate, to move, to be more tactical in your choices. Again, this is this kind of checkers chess kind of mentality that in checkers it's best to not leave any open gaps, not leave any spaces open. If you can manage to maneuver that way, you're great. So it's all like this concentrated movement. But with chess, sometimes it's not a bad plan to just move around and then pick off a lot of the weak ones first, and then focus on the queen or the bishop or the rook. So if you manage to avoid the bishop and the queen while taking out a bunch of pawns, you're doing good. And so in Pathfinder 2, it might be worth it to do an athletics check to knock down the big bad guy, or a trip attack or something using your polearm, and then take a step and swing it at the other goblin at the -5, and so that's might be more effective to keep knocking that guy down, so he only gets one attack a turn, kind of thing, while you mop up the rest of them. Yes, that's really kind of interesting. So that's what I really like about the Pathfinder 2 playtest, is the 3-action economy, and it makes status effects all the more a viable strategy because they remove these actions from the opponent, and so that is more effective than just doing several or multiple attacks, because the multiple attacks take the -5 and -10 penalty, which a lot of times will be significant in the game, because a lot of times their armor class will be at a so taking that -5 means that you're basically doing a straight roll a lot of times when you factor in the bonuses, and taking in a -10 means you do have to get like a 15 to 20, so you get probably a 50% chance or greater to hit on the first one. You're probably looking at a 75% chance to hit with one attack, 50% chance to hit on the second attack, and it's actually probably like 75, maybe 50, maybe 25. I'll crunch the math later, but so those extra actions, you want to use them for something else. And if you rob the villain of their chance to use those extra actions, all you're doing is you're just taking one hit instead of that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.